a new Android application. Close the project. Leave the emulator alone, but close the project. Okay,
Yep.
create a new one, and we'll call this one. Like today, we're trying to get on top of what the activity lifecycle, and also we'll look at Logcat, custom dialogs, okay, and view flippers, ScrollView, and maybe alert dialog as well. Okay, so first off, we want to knock off the activity life cycle. See, activities have life cycles. Okay,
Yeah.
so let's call this activity life cycle demo.
Okay.
Okay, I think this is the best way to learn. Now go next, next, next. Let's get out of here. Next, next, next till you finish. And this is, I think this is the one. This is the best way to learn how to how activity lifecycle works. Okay, you can read all kinds of stuff. Okay, but while this is happening, go to the internet. Okay.
Yep.
I hate when this pop-up comes up. I hate it. I'm gonna remove my device. It's terrible. Wow, and it's slow on my screen. This is just wrong. It's recording all this stuff. Man, I can't see nothing. So all this stuff is being recorded. Oh boy. Okay, it's gone. Okay. Yeah, now go to developer. Well, no, in Google, type activity lifecycle because there's a diagram. Okay. Yeah, and go to the developer.android link, which has the lifecycle. The one that says managing that activity, the first one.
Okay.
Okay, scroll down. Scroll down. Not that. The actual. You see a diagram. There's no diagram. Managing activity lifecycle, and they didn't put no diagram. I mean, I know there's a diagram on the Android page. So I'm like, why? Uh, okay, I just can't remember what the link is for that. Anyway, let's go back to our look out for, you can look for it on Google, like through images or whatever on Google. But let's go back to our application because I mean, I still feel like the best way to learn this thing is, and that's the image right there. Anyway, that's the image right there. So look at any of these. Click, yeah, that one right there, that first one. That's it. So you see there what we call states. Okay, even with it processes like threading, there's states. Okay, with all these components like services and so on. There's states. And in between the states, we have what we call callback methods, automatic methods that your operating system, your phone, your Android device, or whatever, will automatically call to get you from one state to another state. Okay, so when we start, you're in the created state. You see what the created state is?
Yeah.
So how do we get to the created state? See the name of the method?
Okay.
Exactly. So that's why we like to write setup code in the onCreate. Okay, beginning code in the onCreate. Okay, then from the onCreate, the onStart will automatically be called to get us into what? The started state. Okay, and then from the started state, we go directly into the onResume will be called to get us into the resume state. Okay, which is the visible state, which is the main state that you see in front of you.
Yeah.
And your application is like, some people call it running state. Okay, or some people also call it a visible state. Now, from the resume state, if you want to go to the pause state, the on pause will be automatically called. And from the pause state, if you want to go back to the resume state, then you call the on resume. Okay. Of course, in the resume again, if you have to go to to get to the pause state, you have to go through the on pause. And now in the pause state, if you don't want to go back to resume, but you want to go to the stop state, the on stop will be called. Okay. Now in the on stop state, if you want to go back to like the resume state, you first have to go to on restart will be called, then on start, and then on resume will get you to resume state. Resume state will get to pause state by on pause, and then pause state will get to on stop. We'll get to the stop state by via the on stop. Now, if you're in the stop state and you want to end the application, or the application resource has to be closed, the memory has to be closed or terminated, then the on destroy will be called to get us into the destroyed state. Okay, so if you look at it in pairs, the opposite of the on create is the on destroy. The opposite of the on start is the on stop. Okay,
Yeah.
and the opposite of the on resume is the on pause. Okay,
Yeah.
so that's one way to look at them in pairs. All right, well, we're going to create an application that will demonstrate this and make us understand how they really work in actuality. So let's go back to our Android app in Android Studio. Okay, delete that hello world. Okay, no, you can't do anything in the
Oh,
preview.
yeah. I
So
just
you want to go
wanted
to the design view. Yeah, because that's just for looking at. Yeah. Okay, now let's go to your activity class, your Java class called main activity.java. And we know that the set now I want you to remove the on create menus. We don't need that stuff.
Oh,
The menus, the menus,
okay.
the on create options menu, all of that, all those menus, all the menus. Slide it down what you're afraid of. Slide everything down. Slide it down. We just want the class. Yeah, that's it. Everything. There we go. Delete. All right, good. So this is our on create. See, this is this is what will take us into the what? This is what will take us to the created state. Okay, then we'll take us to the the started state and the resume state and so on. So this is the first callback. Okay, this is the first thing that will put it on the screen. When and how does it put the UI on the screen? Right, the set content view. See that? We'll put it on the screen. Now it is recommended that when you override a callback method, you leave the super call alone. You see that super call, the line where we call super to uncreate?
Yeah.
You kind of use that to set it up from the system. So you leave that one alone, okay? But then you write whatever you want to write underneath that one. Okay, so we want to create we want to create overrides to our callback methods, okay? So after on create, the next one is on start, okay? So that's what we want to do. By the way, there are some shortcuts, okay? There are some beautiful shortcuts, and this is the beauty of shortcuts. For one thing, you can do, let's try control, O is override, okay? So let's try control O. Yeah, control O. Now, why would you put your mouse outside and then expect it to work? Then we write code in classes in Java. So your mouse has to be inside. There we go. See that? Now we don't want all of them, okay, but we want the ones that we need for the activity lifecycle. Right? We don't want all the callbacks. See, some of them are there to call back the menu. All that we don't want no menu. We want the so let's start with on start. Okay, so look for on start. And this is alphabetical order, so no, I'm not sure it is. No, it's not. It's just it's based on something. I don't know what it is.
If I start searching, will it
Yeah, but you see, then waste all the time searching. Okay, so I mean, you can do it this way, but another way you can do it, close it. Another way you could do it, close it. I'm just showing you that it's there. It's just to do it manually. Okay, so you can do on. So do on start. I think that's even better for me. I mean, that's what I do. On S, control space there. Yeah. On start. Read. Make sure you read what you. Yeah, the first one. Anyway. There we go. See, and you see what I said? The super. You leave that one alone. Okay.
Okay.
Now for every one of these that we're going to make, you leave that one on top. Leave that one alone. What did I say? You leave that one alone, and then you write something underneath that one. So you leave that one alone, and what else you want to add to edit that? You put it after. So that one you leave alone. Okay. So we're going to use a method. Okay. We can use either D or I or E. Okay, these are methods of a class called log, okay, which is a way to report into something called Logcat, okay, which we used it yesterday. If you watched the videos, you remember. Logcat is a way to check your apps for, or to inspect your apps for errors, okay. It's a way of tracking your apps by using what we call tags, okay. So now, first of all, we're going to create a tag, okay. Then we're going to log everything, okay. So let's have a tag. Put your cursor above, like as a global variable, okay? So above all your methods, yep, in the class. Let's create a string called, let's do string, let's make a final string, okay? So final string, let me final static, final static, and string, and we'll call it tag, okay? And that's a constant because we use final, so it'll be all uppercase.
Okay.
And with finals, you can't just declare them. You always have to give them a value because We have to all uppercase. All uppercase. Okay, that's how you notice a constant. All right, now when you cannot do that with a constant, you have to give it a value. And how do I know it's a constant? Because it has the word final, the keyword final. That means the value that you're going to give it, and you have to give it a value. That value will be locked in. It will be final. You cannot change that value. All right, and what we're going to do is we're going to use a class name. Okay, so double quotes, and then let's call it main activity, and that's it. And then end the statement with a semicolon. All right, so that's our tag. Now we're going to go into, let's start with the onCreate. So go into the onCreate. Yeah, on the onCreate. And then we're going to press enter again for readability. And then we're going to write a class called log. It's a class, log. You see, they brought the package, right? So log is a static method, just like it's a class that can use static methods. So when you try to use a static method, you don't have to create an instance. So all you do is class name dot. That's like you do math or square root, right? Or system dot. Well, that's not really that. Yeah, dot, and then we choose D, okay, for debug messages. And it takes two arguments. The first argument will be your tag, okay? So tag. The second argument will be your message, okay? The message, the error message. In our case, we're going to use double quotes that will say on create, okay? On create. Okay, good. And then, so you see that thing right there? Copy that line. And we're going to put that kind of message in all of them to kind of tag all of them, okay? So in the one that says on start, you're not going to put, so you're going to paste it in there. And you're not going to say on create, but what? On start. Okay. So we're tagging the method, the different callback methods. So that way we can keep track of the different states. Okay, it's good. So now let's go to the next one. So after on create and on start, we go to what? On. There's another one called on resume, right? So let's do on resume, and that would take us into the running or the resume state. Yep, let's go. Okay, and you know what to do, right? Put the tag message. This is a good way to understand tags. After this, we'll use toast, and that'll be even better, so you can see it on the actual device. Okay, continue. So after on resume, let's say you wanted to pause an app. That means you're gonna go across on pause. You know what to do. Next one, on stop. Okay, now when you're on stop, and let's assume that you wanted to get back from on stop into what on back go back to the resume state. Okay, if you're in the stop state, you want to get back to resume state. You would first have to call what? On restart. So you're gonna do on restart. Okay. So after on restart, they will automatically call on start. They will automatically call on resume. They will get you.
Yeah.
And this one will say on restart. Okay. Now we're gonna do. Have we done on start yet? Okay. Now we'll do before we do on destroy. Right. There's another one called on saved instance state. Okay. Yeah. So there's one called on saved instance state. So let's do that. On saved instance state. Okay. It's a lesser known one because you only see that one usually when you do something like go to another screen. Okay. Yeah. But I like to teach the full range of things. All right. So you know what to do. Log that sucker. Okay, and the last one is on what? Destroy. By the way, you see that at thing? The at override, that's called an annotation, okay?
Yeah. Kind of like a comment.
More than that, it's more powerful than a comment. Comment is just text. Annotations are not just, they have like this code in it. Alright, basically, if you spell your undestroy wrong, mess up your spelling of undestroy. See?
Okay.
It's not a comment. Fix it back. Basically, you're tagging it is to protect you. So that, in other words, if in case somebody makes a spelling mistake on their override method, it will let them know that this is an override method. So you have to conform to the superclass version of onDestroy, which is not spelled like that. Okay, so now we want to run this thing. Okay, So hit run. At the same time, we would like to see Logcat, but oh, you know what? We didn't do anything inside of it. Um, but that's okay, at least for now. And look at your device. And it would better if look at your device. Better if we can have Logcat pop up, which we will. Unlock your device. You hit run.
Yeah.
Yeah, you did. All right. By the way, it's building. By the way, you see the terminal? You see where it says Android? Click on Android because we need Logcat to. That's the whole point of the log messages below.
Down here.
Yes, the terminal. Now you see. Don't hit. Don't hit. Don't do that. Wait.
Alright.
Now the term. Hit the Android. See Android at the bottom?
I have to close this then.
If they cancel it.
Oh, cancel. Okay, well, fine. Because we need to bring up Logcat. So you see where it says Android?
Yeah.
Click that, and you see the one that says Log. Okay, now Logcat is open. See, so that's the one that's active. See. All right, now I don't like verbose because it's too long. It's too many messages. We can't see what's in there. So your level hit just like yesterday. Change it to error, even though it's not really an error though. This is more of a. We chose debug, right?
Sorry.
We chose debug, remember? But we can also use the filter. So what was our tag? Our tag was main activity, right?
Yeah.
So type. You see the word in the search engine. I don't want to use. I can use the filter, but I mean, like, well, let's use that in the search engine, the search bar, right? Field, whatever. Type main activity. Okay. Hopefully that will work. And change the log level to debug because we chose D, right? D means debug. Okay. If it doesn't work, I'll actually use an actual filter. Now hit run. And okay. Oh, enter. And let's look at the device. Actually, we don't need to look at the device because there's nothing on the device. Let's watch Logcat. But kind of want to see. Okay. Yes. Okay. Okay. Let's. Nothing happened. Okay. Then. Okay. Fine. Then our filter is not good. Let's go back to Logcat. Okay, it did work. See, on create. See that?
Yeah.
Okay. But it should show more than that though. I mean, like, what is going on here? I mean, because we then we have on resume and all that. Yes, we did, right? I don't like this. Send it back to verbose. Okay. Why is it only showing this? Did you use the same tag for all of them, right? All right. You know, let me go back to your device and then click on like the home screen. Go to your device. Yeah, click that, and you see, boom. Did you see that? Look at Logcat. See, on pause. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. Okay, on resume is there. All right. Go back to. I guess because it's nothing on your screen. Like on resume, like nothing. Go back to your device again, because you see we're tracking what's happening on your device by looking at Logcat. Okay. Go back to your device again. All right. Now go back to your device. Your app. Now you see the right corner. Okay. Well, you can do that too.
Here you go. What do you have to do?
On the right corner, instead of the round one, the square one at the bottom. The bottom right corner.
Okay.
Yeah. That will kind of show all your apps that are running. I mean, that are available. So you want to go activity life cycle, right? And then watch Logcat. See that? Go to Logcat now. See?
Yeah.
What did you see happen? It wasn't on pause, right?
Yeah.
I mean, then it went to on stop. Okay. And then you see on restart, on start, and then on resume. Okay. Now we want to even do better. We'll use toast because that way we don't have to come in back and forth. Okay. So that I think that's even better. We're gonna use toast. Okay. All right. So let's go to back to your Android Studio code, your Java code, and then let's make toast. Okay, to track everything. So that way we can see it inside the device. We don't have to come back to Logcat. Okay. This is the recommended. I mean, this is what they put in the docs. But then my way, I use Toast because it makes. I don't know why people use Logcat. I mean, yeah, using Logcat is good. It's a good exercise in using Logcat. But we're going to Android Studio, the Java code, so you should not be here. Android Studio, the Java code. Let's go. The main activity class. Okay, let's start with onCreate. Okay, and now we're gonna do toast. Toast. We're making toast. Slow down and see. No, go back. Write it again. I'm always trying to show you an easy way. See what it says? Create new toast. It's better you choose that one.
Okay.
So you don't have to do much work. All right, and then now, of course, then you have to alt enter. Just alt enter because they told you to do it wherever you are, just as long as the pop-up comes. So now in the double quotes, you're gonna put on create. Length short is too short. Make it length long. Just change the word to long, all uppercase. The duration on the right side, yeah, long. Okay, copy this line, and you know what to do. Put it in the other ones, okay, and update them. Yeah. So let's go to on start. You know what to do. They ask you on any of your questions, what do you understand by the activity lifecycle, or how does the activity lifecycle work? Okay. Callback methods will be automatically carrying you from one state to another. The important thing to do is to understand what kind of code goes into what. Like in the on create is where you want to do your setup code. In the on destroy, you could do some final destructions, maybe disconnect from a database or something like that. But even though maybe you would prefer to do that in like on stop, okay. So it all kind of depends. Okay, here run. And just wait, and it will when it leaves, yep, it comes back. Okay, first, so you're gonna see the toast. So watch the toast, okay? See that? On create is the first one that happens, right? Then you see what happens next? On start. You see that?
Yeah.
Then on resume, then it's gonna stop. Okay, because you're in there you are. So now you're in the physical state. That's how they go step by step. Okay, see how the sequence. Now you see that there's a difference when you hit back. You see the back button, as opposed to when you hit the round button. Okay, you see differences. Now hit back and watch what happens. So right now we're in the resume state. Okay, so the last method call was on resume, and it brought us to the resume state. So we're in the resume state. But hit the back button and see what happens. Watch the toast. Hit the back button and watch the toast. On pause happens.
Yeah.
Then what? Wow. Why do I see on resume and on destroy? That means you made a mistake. Go to your code. Go to your code. You made a mistake. Why did I see on resume? Go to your on stop. Instead of seeing on stop, I saw on resume.
Oh, yeah.
That tells me that you did something wrong. Okay, run it again. On create, on start, on resume. That's how they happen. And that brings you to the resume state. So now you are in the resume state. What happens if they ask a question? What happens when you're in a resume state? An interview question. What happens when you're in a resume state and you hit the back button? Okay, so pay attention. Hit the back button. And you see that the on pause happens first. Then the on pause will take you to what? On stop. Okay, and now you're in the what? On destroy. Now you're in the what? Destroyed state. Okay, that's watch what happens when you're in the resume state and you hit the back. The on pause happens. Then it's on stop, and then what? On destroy. Okay, go back. And how do you go back? You see the square. That's one way to go back. Hit the square, and then click that. On create, on start, and then what? Yeah, because it wasn't on destroy, right? So I mean, it was in the destroy state, so you have to create from the beginning. Now, so we're back here again. We're in the resume state. Now, watch what happens when you hit the round button, which is the home button. Okay, you didn't not the back, but the home. Okay, so pay attention. Hit the home button, which is the round thing there. Yeah. Okay, once again, of course, we're gonna have on pause, on stop. You notice that there was no on destroy, right?
Yeah.
That means that your screen was not destroyed. Okay, it means your application is still running in memory. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So when it's coming back, is it gonna call on create? No, right? It's gonna call what? On restart. Okay, don't just take my word for it. Let's actually see what happens. So click on that square icon. Click on activity lifecycle. Activity lifecycle, and you see,
Yeah.
not on create but on restart, on start, on resume, and then you're in the resume state again. See that?
Yeah.
That's how those work. Let's do it. Run it back again. We're in the resume state. Hit the back button and pay attention to what happens. It's a good exercise in understanding the activity life cycle. There's no mystery to it. On pause happens.
Mhm.
Then on stop. And on destroy. This is when you hit the back button. So when you hit the back button, it really kills everything. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So now hit the. You know what to do. I hit the square to get back into activity life cycle. Because it was in a destroyed state. You have to on create, on start, on resume, and then finally you're in the resume state again. Now hit the home button. And you see the difference with this one? It's just going to be on pause, on stop. In other words, you're in the stop state. You're not in the destroy state. You're in the stop state. So when it comes back to going back, so see, nothing else after that. So hit the square again, and then activity life cycle. And you'll notice that we don't have to on create because it never got destroyed. It's still in memory.
Yeah.
Okay. So click that. So it's not like it's starting from scratch. On restart, on start, on resume, will bring us back to resume. There you have it. You notice that we never got to see the on saved instance state, right?
Yeah.
We never did. Okay, now we're going to do something that will make us be able to see that, okay? So we're going to do something we did yesterday, and we did a number of times in the past. How to start one activity to another. So we're going to create another activity. Do you know how to create another activity? Simple. What is an activity? A Java class. Where do you write Java classes? You gotta be in Android Studio. Where do we write Java classes? Okay. And see where the folder says what? Java. Yep. And you want to be in. No, don't just do that. Be careful where you are. You got to be in the package, not the test package. We are making what? An activity. Let's call this second activity. And let's finish and get out of here. There we go. Get rid of that hello world. Put your own text view that says, just put your own text view there, just drag it there, no one cares. And double click on it and just say, welcome to second screen. Done, done, done. Okay, boom, we don't care. All right, now we want to get from the first screen. So now, first of all, I want you to write the code that will get us from the first screen to the second screen. Okay.
Okay.
Now you need something to do that, right? What will you need? A button.
Yeah.
Okay. You can call it go to next. Let's not waste time on that. You can call it go to next. You never write. We never write a method. You only write classes for uppercase letters.
Okay.
You don't write code like that in any language. You're writing English. That's not code.
Okay.
Computer is not that smart. If you write English, it won't understand it. Yeah, that's why you can't put space between it because it has to be one element. By the way, your next spell it correctly. All right. Now there's a shortcut I taught you. So Okay, in the main activity, right place to be. Okay, so what is the name of the method that we use to go from one activity to another?
Go to next.
Are you kidding me? What is the name? This you're in go to next already. What is the name of the method that is inherited from the activity class that is used to go from one activity to another?
Um,
Okay, let's not waste time. It's start activity.
okay.
What kind of object does a start activity take?
Intent.
Okay, so that is not an intent object. That's just a class name. So I'm just as a class, but you want to have an object. What is an object in programming? I've been saying this a million times. What is an object in programming? At least in Java, an object is the new keyword, then the type of object you write the class name for the type of object you're trying to create, and then you got to have what? Open and close parentheses.
Yeah.
That is an object. Good. Now inside this, it takes two arguments. What's the first argument? The source context, the source activity. Okay, so what was the class that you're in? You write in the class that you're in. Dot this, yeah, comma, the second. That's it. That's all you got to do. All right, hit run. Because I want to see what happens to what is the behavior of the life cycle of the activity when you move between screens. Okay, that's why we did this exercise. So this time you have a button in there. On resume, and then you're okay. You confuse yourself because you didn't wait. Okay. Go back and wait. Wait for all the toast to stop so that we know what's going on. But you're gonna see some. Yes, because it paused. When you left the screen. Okay. Okay. So here we are in the resume state of what? Main activity, right?
Yeah.
Click the button and watch. On pause of the first screen, main activity. On stop on the first screen. So when you go from one screen to another, what happens? The first screen goes into what? The stop state. Of course, if you want to go step by step, first it calls on pause to go into the pause state. Then it calls on stop to go into the stop state. Okay?
Yeah.
You saw that?
Yeah.
Okay. Now I hit back. So now you're in the resume state of the second screen. And you see what happens? It was on stop, so on restart. On start, resume, and then we're back into the resume state. Good. So every time you try to understand the activity lifecycle, just play with this app and be moving around and see how it behaves. Okay, between screens, going back, going forward, and see. That will help you to understand activity lifecycle. So every time you forget how it works, just run this application, right, in your device or in your emulator, and then play around with it, move around, and that's how you understand activity lifecycle because it always behaves the same way. Okay, so that will prepare you for interview questions regarding the activity lifecycle. It will also prepare you for knowing what you need to do when you're building an application. If you want to open up database resources, you can do that in the onCreate, okay? Or if you want to initialize stuff, you can initialize them in the onCreate, or you can do some more setup stuff in onStart, okay? If you want to delete stuff or destroy resources, you can do that in onStop or onDestroy, okay? Like towards the end. If you want to do setup, you do it in onCreate, okay? So that kind of thing, okay? If you want to write code that happens between different screens, right?
Yeah.
Like if you want to save something before you go to the next screen, okay, you would do that in onPause because onPause will be the first method called before you go to the next screen, okay? So that's what it's about, okay? Understanding the states and the methods, the callback methods that go between the states to get us from one state into another. That way you can write code inside that callback method, okay? So it's about timing, okay, and what you're doing. Okay, enough of that. Enough of the tip. Any questions about the activity lifecycle?
No, I'm good.
I hope now you understand what the method is to go from one activity to another. That's called the start activity method, okay?
Yeah.
Which takes an intent object, not an intent class, an intent object. Okay, which takes two arguments, the source, comma, destination, or if you like source.this, comma, destination.class. Okay, Now let's get into, so that's activity life cycles, and that's Logcat for you. Now let's get into, and also we did a little revision on Toast. Okay. Now another easy thing that you could do, this is very easy, is custom dialogues. Okay. Custom dialogues. Very easy thing. All right. Now, how do you make a custom dialog? That's what we're trying to do. First step, you make a layout file. Okay. Okay, there's different kind of dialogue. The custom dialogue is very easy. That's why I want you to learn it. All right, but it's very useful too. So we want to make a custom dialogue. So first off, you want to go to what, the layout folder or resources, so anywhere you want to go. So you want to go into Android Studio, layout folder. Yep. Right click and new layout resource file.
Okay.
Let's call this dialogue. You see, wait, you did the wrong thing. They put it red. You can't do that. Okay, all lowercase. No, you can't do that.
Okay.
And that's not how we write them. I mean, we use underscore. Because you can't do that, here you have to use underscore. This is XML, by the way. Okay, so when you call it, that's where it works. All right, and now you hit OK. So that's your custom dialog. Okay, now your custom dialog is empty. You got nothing in there. It's empty as pie. Okay.
Yeah.
Now let's say you want to change the color of this your custom dialog. We can do that. So how we do that? Go to the text view. When I said the XML view. Okay. So go to the XML view. Oh, you don't even have to go there. I'm sorry. On the right side, see where you have properties? Yeah, I mean, because you can do it here too. On the right side, go to design view.
Yeah.
You see on the right side where you have properties? You see background? See where it says background? Properties, background. These are the properties of your linear layout, okay? Your general layout. Properties, background, I'm sorry. Background. Background. It's coming up.
Yeah.
There we go. So on the right side corner, click. Yeah. In the corner, it's like a drop down arrow there. Okay. And now you can choose, see where it says color?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can change the color. Change the color of your background. Choose any background you want. I don't care. This will be the background of your dialogue. Okay. You want to go pinky? That's fine. All right. Now we want to put some things in this dialogue. Okay. So we can put some things in this dialogue. Put a text view in there. Okay. Let's go to the internet. Let's find us an image. Pixabay.com. Oh, you know what? Don't do that. Let's take this image right here.
Okay.
Okay. Say all lowercase. It's not. Give it a name, a different name. Just say, yeah. Okay, fine. Now copy that image and drop it inside of your, you know what folder, right?
Yeah.
You can go to search. You see where it says search this PC? I mean, yeah.
I got it.
Yeah. You got some more images. Okay, grab that.
Where is that?
Activity A. Just do A. It depends. I hope you didn't save in a different place.
I think I might have saved it in a different place.
Yep, you definitely saved in a different place. I don't know where you saved it to. What you saved in your desktop? I don't know.
I have no idea. I'll just grab it again.
Yeah, you saved
I
it
saved it in pictures.
Yeah. Grabbed it. If you can find another one, grab another one too. And put them in your drawable. Okay. So now that we have that, we can now drop an image view inside your app. Okay. Why would you put it on top of the so close?
No, I was trying to put it underneath.
Okay, anyway, we can always use XML to do what do you call it, to kind of fix it. Now your text view, let your text view say this is the activity life cycle. Your text view. Yeah, this is the activity life cycle. Okay. Okay, your image view. Give your image view a source. Okay, click on your image view. See, you click on the thing you want to edit. So you click on it, and then you go to properties to change the attributes. So click on your image view. If you can't see it, you can always use the outline on the top right corner. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, now you have that, and now scroll down to where you have SRC source in your properties.
What's the
You're looking for SRC source. There it is. Hit the
okay.
drop down arrow, and you're looking at your project, not the system, your project, because you left it in the drawable folder inside your project. So you drawable, and then now you look for a lot of them. So you look for the one that what you call it through the life cycle. There you go, and there you have it. Okay.
Yeah.
That is one ugly background. All right. Yeah, but yeah. Anyway, that's your dialogue. Okay, simple. That's your dialogue. Okay, so that's a custom dialogue. You can do whatever you want to put in. You can put buttons in there. You can do whatever you want to put in there. Okay. So now, I feel like your dialogue is taking too much space. Okay. So why don't you your image, reduce the size of the image like back to the way it was. I think the way it wasn't so bad. So send it back to like the smaller size. Yeah, like a square kind of. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Bye. Okay. All right. Now underneath that, let's drop a text view and an edit text. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, and then an edit text. But you should make them like side by side. But I mean, it's all good. Okay. Okay. I mean, yeah, that's fine. Let's just call this message, and then yeah, an edit text et message, right? I mean, well, not the text, right, but the ID.
The ID.
Okay. Okay, so this is your dialogue. Okay, well, you can put things in there. I'm just saying you can put. Now let's add a button underneath. Okay, so we got a dialogue called what? Dialogue layout is what you called it. Okay, so
Yeah.
we want it to be. So let's go back to our. Depends on where we want to trigger it from. Okay, but we can trigger it from the first page. So let's go to main activity. And this is good exercise for you to get used to. Once again, click event handling. So you go. You want to go to your activity layout of your main activity, right? So activity main, and then you want to add what another button, right? Because another button. This button will spawn the dialogue. Okay, so you want to have another button.
Okay.
So you go to design view and you select it and you drop a button. And let's edit that button. Double click on it, and we'll call this one dialogue, I guess. Oh yeah, that's fine. Yeah. And we don't have to give it an ID because we're gonna use the shortcut thing that the on click, right?
What are we doing now?
We want it to be that when you click on this button, something happens. So what's the attribute for that? Yeah, that's right. And let's call it show dialogue. It's a method name. Okay. All right. So here we want to show a dialogue. We're not starting an activity, right? But we're showing a dialogue. We're doing something different, okay? So how do you do this? First of all, there's a class called dialogue, okay? So let's go dialogue D. So I want you to create a class called dialogue, and I want you to initialize it with standard Java. And with standard Java, I want you to instantiate it. Good. Creating a new dialogue object. Now, usually, if you notice in Android, when they ask you for something in the parentheses, usually with a UI component, what do they ask? They're asking what screen do you want this UI component to show up in what context. So that's where we put what class name dot this, or if you like, or just this. Okay, so do that in the parentheses. Wrong.
Main activity.
Yeah, because this is a class you're in.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Now on the next line, So the key question is, how do we connect this data type? So what are we trying to do? If you think about it, we're trying to connect this data type called D, right? This object, I should put it that way. This dialog. We want to connect this dialog to what? To your layout file that you just made, right?
Yeah.
Called dialog layout. Okay, so that at the end of it, what do you think we're gonna do? We're gonna show it, right?
Yeah.
All right. So how do we do that? Now let's think. Let's look above. Look at the onCreate method. Yeah, look at the onCreate method. What is the name of the method that we use to connect our Java? No, inside of it. What is the name of the method that we use to connect our Java to our XML?
Set content view.
Exactly. So keep that in mind. Now, it didn't say anything .secondView because you're in this class, which is an activity, and that's an activity method. Okay, but now we're going to use that same method with a dialog, okay, because that method can also be used by a dialog. So scroll all the way down. Of course, we're not trying to set a content view for this class that you're in, but we're trying to set a content view for what? The dialog. So you're going to be what? D dot set content view. And finish the code. Wrong. Delete that. This is a layout file. It's not an individual component where you try to find an ID. That's right. That's it. Of course, if you don't show it, we'll never know, right?
Yeah.
It will make it behind the scenes. So on the next line, I want you to show it. I want you to show the dialog. Write the code to show the dialog. See how easy this is? Why do you do that? Did they ask you to do something like that?
No.
The thing is easy, and then you're now doing some weird things. You already did it.
So you just do that.
That's it. Yeah, it's easy. That's how easy it is. If there was an error, they're telling you to put something, you put something. They didn't tell you to do anything. We just be cool. It's just like this is just look at the toast. See the toast? A lot of things in Android UI when they're showing it, it just does show. That's the end of story. Okay, you don't have to pass anything. All right, now hit run. This time it's going to have two buttons, and one button is going to show a custom dialog. Okay, so you don't have to wait for the toast. Yeah, you can. Now let's test it. Congratulations. There you have it. Okay,
Yeah.
that's your custom dialog. See? So that's how you do that. Okay, now you can also set, before you show your dialog, so go back to Android Studio. Before you show your dialog, I want you to play around with the dialog a little bit. So go to, Android Studio, back to your Java class, right? So before you show your dialog, right? Good. Let's do something with the dialog. I want you to set the title of your dialog. See how your boss is gonna say? He's not gonna say, "I want you to call this method." No, he's gonna say, "I want you to," or your client is gonna say, "I want you to show the dialog," or "I want you to set the title of your dialog." The boss will say, "Now, in my application, before you show the dialog, I want you to set the title of the dialog." Okay. So what do you think? So do it. See how easy this is?
Yeah.
You've never done it before in your life, but it's easy. That's how programming is. English. Whatever title you want to give it. The boss say he doesn't care. As long as you give it a title. Okay. And let's see what else you can do with press enter, press D, enter, and then D on the next line, D dot. Let's see what else you can do. Okay. So take a look at the things that you can do with your dialog. Okay. You can set a title. You can show it. Let me see. Yeah, dismiss. You know what dismiss does? It will dismiss your dialog. In other words, your dialog will leave the screen. Okay.
Yeah.
What else is there? For instance, you can sleep, and you can let it sleep for a little bit, and then dismiss. It's not really good code to do it that way, but we're not doing threading. But let's do that, okay? I want you to let the dialogue sleep. So after it shows, right? I want you to let it sleep for a while, and then we will dismiss it, okay? So after okay, so after you show it, so delete this line. After we show the dialogue, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It might not work because kind of bad at programming practice, maybe. Um, let's no before we do this, I want to sleep, okay? So let's sleep. How do you sleep? Thread dot sleep, okay? And I want you to sleep for 2 seconds. And we use milliseconds, so that's 2,000, which is 2 seconds. The instruction says what? Click the helper, right? It's telling you that you have to surround with try catch. Good. All right. Okay. Now after all this is done, okay, then we want you to what? I want you to make your dialogue dismiss your dialogue. Why do you put your mouse back up? See, I want you to for readability. Okay, fine. Now I want you to make your dismiss your dialogue. Okay. Now let's see how that works. I want you to dismiss your dialogue. Yeah. Let's see that. Okay. Hit run. Unless the thread gives us trouble, it's not recommended I use threads this way, and I don't want to do any advanced stuff in the beginning.
Yeah.
But there's something called a handler and there's something called a syntax. Okay, the async task, which is used for handling UI stuff. Okay, if that stuff doesn't violate this, we'll be fine. Okay, click on your dialog. Oh, nothing happened.
No, it doesn't seem like
Okay,
it.
I guess, and it's part of it's because of the threading. It's sleeping, I think. That's what it is. It's sleeping, and then after it finishes sleeping, yeah, it's because of the threading. The timing is all off. Yeah, the timing is all off because of the. Uh, I mean, we would have to implement it using Runnable, and nah, that's okay. We won't do that. Just put that, comment that out. Comment out the sleep and the thread. Another time we'll play with that. But comment out the sleep and the try, the whole try. Well, you just highlight the whole thing. I mean. Okay. Anyway, but so this is I just want to get you the basics of how to use your custom dialogues. Okay. And
Yeah.
that's how you do that. Okay. Now another thing that you will find, this is easy. Sometimes when you have a lot of text, okay, in your application, you have a lot of text in your application, and the screen is not big enough, right? Because it's a mobile iPhone, okay, or a tablet. It's not my space on the tablet. You can use something called a scroll view, okay, which is also a container. It's also a layout. You surround the text with a scroll view, and because of that, it'll be able to hold all the text that you have, okay. So how do we implement something like that? All right. So okay, for instance, uh, go to the I don't want to get any stupid text though, but because new line, all that stuff. Well, let's see if I go to the internet and let's get a paragraph from somewhere. But I want it to be a paragraph that has no like apostrophes. That would be good. Okay, let's take this one. Copy that. Okay, good. Now let's go to yeah. Now let's go to your second screen. So we're doing the second screen. Okay. Yeah, but we want to go to activity second. Okay.
Okay.
Okay,
All
yeah.
right. All right. Good. And put a text view there. Yeah, drop a text view in the center of it. A text view. Make it be large. No, I want to take up as much space as I can. Yep. Okay. Double click on it. Paste that message there if you can. Delete this and enter. Press enter. Okay. Not big enough for me. Double click on it again, and because I want you to keep typing. Like I want it to be bigger than that. All right. You know what? Go to
Properties.
the XML view. Okay. Go to the end of that image. Or you know what? Put your cursor. You see where it says how with the chancellor? Put your cursor in between chancellor and twist. Yeah, somewhere there, and just keep typing because I wanted to extend the screen. Okay, so keep typing, just keep gibberish, like, as long as it's not a apostrophe. Okay, because those things can create errors because you have to escape them. Okay, just keep typing because I wanted to go beyond the screen is what I'm trying to do. Okay. Yeah, should I just let you paste it twice or something like that? Okay, the same message twice. Yeah, that was another way to do things. Yeah, paste that message again. The same
Okay.
message because I think you copied it, right? So you still have it. So
Yeah.
paste it. Yeah, paste that message like 2 times and again. Good. Okay. All right. Now hit run. And I'm trying to show you how to use how and why we use a scroll view. Okay, and how easy it is to use. It's another way to do it in Java, but this is the easiest way to do it in XML. Easy as pie. All right. So you want to hit next screen, right? Okay. Now, can you see that you can't see nothing?
Yeah,
I mean, you can't see the rest of it, right? Good. So that's the reason why we use scroll views. Okay, so simple. And now let's fix this problem we have. It's very simple. We use a UI widget called what?
Scroll.
Scroll view. Okay. And the thing about this scroll view, so you go to design. Yeah, go to design. The thing about this scroll view is that it's a container type. Okay. It's a container. Yep. Yeah. Oh, it's above.
There we go.
Yeah. So drop it in there. You can drop it in your relative layout. But then now we want to do we want it to surround what? Your text.
Okay.
So you want to go to the XM, yeah, and you want this to surround your text. The way it is not good. It can't surround anybody the way it is. The way it is right now, it can't surround anybody. So you want it to be surrounding. See, it's not going to surround anything. So you want to close it. It's right after true. You want to close the opening. Close the opening. Right after the true, close the opening.
Yeah.
After the true, no, you behave like you don't know HTML. So you want to close your opening scroll view tag, right? You want to close your opening scroll. How do you close the tag? Yeah, but that's not the opening tag. The opening tag will end after the attributes are over. These are attributes, so yeah, that's why I said after the true. So you end it there.
It is ended there.
No, it's not ended. This will no. We're trying to end the opening tag, not the closing tag. So open. You know what? Just delete that and put an arrow bracket there. That's what I'm saying. Put an arrow bracket. So an arrow bracket. And yeah, the closing one. There we go. You see how it is right now? Now we're talking. You messed it up. All right, so you want to put the greater than symbol. Greater than symbol. That's all. That's less than. Okay. Now you see where the cursor is? In between that, press enter. You know, let's press enter. So you have space. Press enter. Now you see what I'm talking about? This is the opening tag. The opening tag has an end. All right? So you got to close it. Then you can put the text view in between that sandwich. Do not confuse the closing of the opening tag with the, Now, why does the text view? Because the text view doesn't have any content inside of it, right? It's not supposed to have a content. That's why you can use this / inside the opening tag. Okay, it's like a shortcut. But the scroll view needs to have a content inside of it, not just attributes. So because of that, it has to close its opening tag, okay, and then have a full closing tag. See that?
Yeah.
Okay, now because of what you've done, hit run. Now because of what you've done, hit run, and you see the difference. Now you can actually scroll up and down. Yeah, and that's how you use a scroll view. Very easy stuff. Okay, now scroll up and down. See?
Yeah.
So now you can see the rest of the text thanks to the scroll view. Okay, very easy. So you see how we use a scroll view? We basically surround it as just like you would surround your widgets inside of what? A linear layout or a relative layout, right? You can surround them inside of what? A scroll view. See?
Yeah.
So it's another one of those container, or if you like to call it, of the type view group, okay? And you can see that we can put containers inside other components. In this case, you have what? A scroll view inside of a linear layout, right?
Yeah.
You can do that. But more importantly, you have your text view inside the scroll view, and because you have your text view inside the scroll view, your text can go anywhere you want. Okay. Now I don't know if this is a shortcut. Do Control F11 because there's a shortcut to switch the emulator. Is it Control F11? Try that. Control F11. Yes, that is a shortcut. So you see, you can flip your device. Okay.
Yeah.
If you have to, left and right. Okay. Okay. To flip it back, you do the same thing.
No.
I mean, you don't have to worry about this with a real device. All you got to do is just flip the actual phone, right?
Yeah.
But because you can't do that with an emulator, that's why they have these, I guess shortcuts that you have to do to kind of mimic that kind of behavior. And that is it, okay? Because we ran out of time. But so yes, that is how you use Logcat. That is how to use ScrollViews. That is how to create custom dialogues, which is very easy. You create a layout file like you create an activity layout file, but instead you don't set the content view to an activity. You set the content view to what a dialogue. Okay, so
Yeah.
dialogue does take on the view, and then when you're done, you show it. Dialogue does show. Okay, of course you got to instantiate the dialogue first inside of Java. Okay, we also got to understand the activity lifecycle. The point is that we have callback methods that take us from one state to another state. Okay, if we have to go from the resume state to the pause state, the on pause is in between that. So it's like you have the callback methods between the states. You're in between the states, and you want to write code inside the callback methods. In other words, we as a developer, or we as developers, we do not worry about the states at all. The states are not our responsibility.
Yeah.
The phone will worry about the states according to how the user interacts with the phone.
Mhm.
Okay. All we worry about is the methods in between the states. So I can write setup or initialization code inside of my onCreate, for instance. I can write database disconnection or networking disconnection or input stream closing code inside of my on stop, or if you like on destroy. Yeah, it's kind of up to you. Okay, I prefer on stop. I think that's better programming. Um, So you can do whatever you can. Or if you want to write some code that's supposed to happen every time you go from pause to resume. Of course, to go from the pause state to the resume state, you have to go through on restart first, right?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. From pause state to on resume, just go to on resume. I'm sorry. If you want to go from stopped to resume, you have to go to on restart because you had a full stop. You have to have on restart. Okay. So if you want to write code that's supposed to say, hey, I'm restarting, you can write that code inside of what on restart. Okay. So that's what it's about with the activity lifecycle. As developers, we only focus on the method. We don't worry about the states. We just write code inside the callback method. Let the Android device um, and the user's interaction determine how we navigate between the different states. Okay. All we worry about is the code in the callback method, which is supposed to move us from one state to another. We don't worry about how to move from one state. No. The device and the user will determine that. Okay. we just write the code in the callback methods. That's the activity lifecycle. Any questions about the custom dialogues? Did you understand it? Because I'm trying to do easy stuff right now. Do you understand how we do the custom dialogues?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you understand how we also use a scroll view? Because that was easy.
Yeah.
Okay. You put the component that you want to scroll, the component that you want to be scrollable inside of the scroll view open and close. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Any questions about the life cycle, about how to use custom dialogues?
I
I
think
think
I'm
I'm
okay.
okay.
Okay. Are you more comfortable with toast?
Yeah.
Okay.
For sure.
Okay. You can always use that for output. All right. So this is a good start. You also know how to get images from wherever and drop it in drawable. You also know how to set the background of an image view by manipulating the SRC attribute. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You also know how to set the color of your background by using the background attribute and choosing the color. So you're getting used to some of the different UI, the manipulation, techniques with basic Android development. You also now, I hope it sticks now, how to go from one activity to another activity. Okay, using what start activity method and passing a new intent object. Okay, that will go from the source activity dot this comma the destination activity dot class. Okay, and that's that. Okay, that's that. I'll see you next week. But for next week, you need to make an application and show me the application. Don't show me that you just copy and drag a button and drop it on some screen we already made. No, you have to make an activity from scratch. And if I come and it's doing nothing but hello world, I tell your dad that you don't really want to learn how to program. You're just wasting time. So you want to make an actual app, let it do something. Okay, not just hello world. Okay, if I come and I see hello world, I mean, this means you didn't do nothing. And you should also have time over the weekend to watch, go over the videos.
Yeah.
Let me stop this video because